Hey, who do you think you are, huh?
Here's a perfect example of what I've been talking about.
What did you say?
Since this boy was suckling on his mama's tit, he's been given everything but discipline.
Who do you think you are? What? Look at this great example of what I've been talking about. What did you say? This boy has been given everything except punishment since he was nursing on his mom's tit. Music. Robert Duvall is one of the most admired actors in Hollywood, and his acts are legendary. He is also known for being very professional, but behind the scenes, he hated one person more than anyone else. Someone whose appearance on set made him feel tense and angry in a way that he had never felt before. For an actor who cares about honesty, respect, and working with others, this friendship left a mark that will last on him. Duvall doesn't usually say bad things about other people, but he had strong feelings for this person, and his honest thoughts give us a rare look into the secret conflicts that can happen even among the biggest stars. You will be shocked by this person he had the most trouble with. There are many problems with Robert Duvall's impact. On January 5, 1931, Robert Duvall was born in San Diego, California. He went on to become one of the most respected and enduring figures in Hollywood, a career that was marked by how long it lasted and how well he played. Duvall showed early on that he was dedicated to acting, and that devotion would last for more than 7 decades in movies and on TV. Having finished school, he earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from Illinois Principia College in 1953 in theater, building a strong academic base that would shape the way he acted for the rest of his life. After graduating, he joined the U.S. Army and fought in the Korean War from 1953 to 1954. This put an end to his acting studies for a while, but it gave him life experiences that would later help make his performances more realistic. Following his time in the military, Duvall went back to New York City to learn acting under the famous Sanford Meisner at the neighborhood playhouse, where he practiced the moves that would make up his subtle but powerful style. It was in the 1950s that Duvall started to slowly rise in the entertainment business. During that decade, he studied acting in depth and built up a body of stage work. His early hard work paid off when he made his big movie debut in 1962 in To Kill a Mockingbird as the mysterious and reclusive Boo Radley. Even though this part wasn't very dramatic, Duvall showed how well she could show depth, and even the quietest roles had nuance, which made him stand out right away as an actor who could be very subtle. During the 1960s, Duvall broadened his acting skills by playing a number of guest parts on TV shows like The Twilight Zone and Naked City. These early roles gave him the stability to keep working, getting better at being in front of the camera and building the professional image that would eventually lead to bigger roles in movies. At that time, a lot of actors tried to get famous by playing flashy or overly dramatic parts. Duvall, on the other hand, became known in Hollywood for his dedication to realism and the inner lives of his characters. When he was cast as Tom Hagen in The Godfather in 1972, Duvall's career took a big turn in the early 1970s. He was nominated for his first Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for this role, which was praised for being smart, restrained, and emotional. His performance as the calm, strategic, and ethically sound counselor showed that he played complicated supporting roles that gave them a sense of realism and subtle authority that would become a trademark of his work. Building on this success, Duvall kept taking on parts that were hard for him and the audience. In 1979, he played Lieutenant Colonel Bill Kilgore in Apocalypse Now. This performance, which mixed charm with the terrifying realities of war, earned him another Oscar nomination and cemented his reputation as an actor ready to take on difficult and complex roles. When Duvall won the Academy Award for Best Actor in 1983 for his part in Tender Mercies, it was another high point in his career. Both reviewers and audiences really connected with his performance as Max Sledge, a broke country singer who wants to make things right in this movie. Many people praised the show for how powerful it was without being overpowering. The quiet battles and deep humanity of a man who is trying to start over in life. This award not only showed how good Duvall was as an actor, but it also showed how dedicated he was to parts that needed him to be honest and complicated emotionally. After this important event, Duvall grew his impact in the business by starting his own production company, Butcher's Run Films. In 1992, this showed that he wanted to change stories not only in front of the camera, but also behind it. In 1997, Duvall took on the big project of writing, directing, and starring in The Apostle. This showcased his many skills and deep knowledge of story, character, and performance. The movie, which got him nominated for another Academy Award, made him even more famous as an artist who was interested in studying the full range of human experience. People became interested in Duvall's personal life when he married Argentine actress Lucana Podza in 2004. This was in addition to his work success, a relationship that has been called supportive and long-lasting, showing that the actor is committed to having deep relationships despite his busy work. Duvall continued to show how versatile he was in TV. In 2007, he got a Primetime Emmy Award for his role in the miniseries Broken Trail. That he was recognized for his skills showed that they could be used in different types of media, keeping people interested in both movies and continuous stories. He received more praise for his role in The Judge in 2014, which earned him another nod for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. This part showed that Duvall was still a strong and captivating actor after decades in the business, able to give every character he played depth and authenticity. As we move into the 2020s, Robert Duvall's Joe continues to show how he can be patient, flexible, and dedicated to his work. His body of work, which spans more than 70 years, not only shows a wide range of acting skills, but also a constant commitment to playing characters honestly and emotionally. Duvall has always been professional and honest as an artist, even when he was studying drama in Illinois and New York as a child. His parts in movies that have become cultural icons are proof of this. His life was one of steady growth, endless exploration, and a constant focus on the art of acting. This made him a famous figure in Hollywood and an inspiration to actors and viewers for generations to come. The disagreements and difficulties of Robert Duvall. Even though Robert Duvall's job was full of amazing accomplishments and performances that will last, it was also full of problems, disagreements, and times when work got tough. Even though he was a famous actor known for decades of hard work and playing some of the most memorable roles in Hollywood history, he had to deal with situations that tried his morals and forced him to make tough decisions. During the making of The Godfather Part 3 in 1990, he got into one of the biggest scandals of his career. At this point, Duvall had become very connected to the part of Tom Hagen, the calm, smart, and morally sound consigliere who was the backbone of the Corleone family story through his loyalty and knowledge. Higgins' character had become an important part of the story of the series, and Duvall's performance had helped set the tone and depth of the family relationships on screen. When it was suggested that he play the part again in the third movie in the series, talks about pay quickly turned into a standoff. Duvall said in public that he would have returned to the project if he had been paid about half of what the movie's main star, Al Pacino, got for his part. The real deal, however, given to him was far below this standard. However, the difference was big enough that Duvall eventually decided not to be in the movie. From his point of view, this choice was practical, but it had big effects on the production. For the movie to work without Tom Hagen, the writers had to rethink the script and change the plot. In real life, this meant that a key character who had been important to the story in the first two movies wasn't really in the third one. This left a big hole in the story, which many viewers and reviewers found problematic. Some people thought Duvall's decision not to take part was motivated by ego or buying power, but those ideas didn't take into account his long-standing professional beliefs. Duvall's goal was never to show who was in charge or get respect for himself. It was about giving him fair respect and acknowledging what he had done. His work was very important in setting the tone, emotional depth, and believability of one of the most famous movie series ever, and he thought that his pay should show how much that effort was worth. By holding firm, Duvall showed that job longevity and professional integrity often require making choices that may not align with external expectations or immediate opportunities. This event is still a clear example of how he balanced his career goals with his personal values. It shows that his devotion to his craft went beyond performance and included the conditions in which he decided to work. But Duvall's problems weren't just limited to talks over money. As with many actors who are deeply committed to he sometimes had problems with directors whose ways of doing things didn't match up with how he did things as an actor. As an actor, Duvall was famous for his method acting, which required him to fully understand the thoughts, feelings, and goals of the people he played. This method needed a lot of patience, teamwork, and a certain understanding of how people act, which didn't always work with directors who are stricter or more authoritarian on set. Duvall used his time working with director Henry Hathaway as an example. Hathaway was very harsh and controlling in the way he ran his business. Hathaway said to have given harsh and direct orders on set, telling Duvall at one point, "When I say action, tense up, go damn you." Duvall's response to working for Hathaway was short but telling. He later thought about their work relationship with a single saying something quietly. John Henry Hathaway. We're not going to talk about him. Even though it's short, this sentence says a lot about how tense things were between the character and the director. It's a reflection of the fact that even seasoned professionals can run into situations where different creative ideas clash and conversation between professionals gets tough. Duvall's experience shows how hard it can be for actors to work together with people who have different standards, approaches, and personalities. Even with these problems, Duvall's success did not stop. Instead, he kept looking for parts and projects that fit with his artistic vision. This showed that he was strong and dedicated to the integrity of his work. Duvall's public image and personal life were sometimes the subject of rumors, often stoked by dramatic news stories, even after he had been working for decades. In 2016, one example of this happened when a fake story spread that he had a stroke and was living alone. Fans, co-workers, and people in the entertainment industry as a whole were worried about his health and well-being after reading the story. Instead of letting the rumors spread without doing anything about it, Duvall did the odd thing of addressing the story in public, directly refuting the claims, and calling the report completely false. His answer was clear and straightforward, which showed that he was both physically and professionally healthy and that he was committed to being honest and telling the truth. The hard journey of John Wayne. As artists like Robert Duvall moved through the challenges and controversies of Hollywood with a focus on principle and skill, other famous people also had amazing careers that lasted decades and left an indelible mark on the movie business. Among them, John Wayne is one of the most famous and long-lasting movie stars in American history. A man whose character and acts helped define the Western genre and the idea of a tough, heroic man. Wayne was born Marion Robert Morrison on May 26, 1907, in Winneray, Iowa. He rose from humble beginnings to become an international superstar through hard work and a rare combination of ability, timing, and personality that few actors have ever matched. From a young age, he showed that he was strong and driven, traits that would serve him well throughout a career that had both amazing highs and steady work over many decades. Wayne's family finally moved to Southern California, which was a big deal for his career in show business. As a child in the area, he got the nickname Duke, which would later come to be associated with his on-screen character. He went to the University of Southern California, USC, as a young man on a football scholarship from 1925 to 1928, showing how good he was at sports and how hard he worked. He worked as a prop man and extra for the Fox Film Corporation in Hollywood during the summers to gain real-world experience. These early experiences gave him a chance to see movies being made, which helped him learn how the business worked and sowed the seeds for a future job in front of the camera. Wayne's first lead part was in Raoul Walsh's 1930 movie The Big Trail. This is also the movie where he was officially introduced as John Wayne, the name that would make him famous. Even though the movie didn't do well at the box office and didn't make him a star right away, it was still a major success. The first step in creating a character with body language, presence, and a subtle charisma. Over the course of the 1930s, Wayne was in a lot of low-budget westerns, slowly becoming known as the classic tough, honest, and reliable hero. Even though these movies weren't very well made, they helped him get better at what he did.